Hello, my darlings. It's been a while. I am late because I am such a boomer and I was trying to, put up a little story on Instagram just to see who else wants to come and visit and hang out. And my boomer brain just cannot, I feel like uploading an Instagram story has changed since the last time I did it, which was only a few months ago. Virkosin, you noticed the plushie in the corner. I was hoping you guys would notice it. Anyway, hi. Hi, Virkosin. Hi, Michael. How are you guys doing? And I can see that there's a few other lurkers in the chat, or just in the view count. So hello. You don't have to say hi if you don't want to. It's okay. I know that life can be hard, and sometimes you don't want to be perceived, and that's okay. That has been me for the last few weeks. I have just not want to be perceived, but I am ready to be perceived, and I am now here. Oh my God, Mr. Freeman! Ah! Everyone, please say hello to my high school physics teacher, Philip Freeman, in the chat. How are you? How is life? Oh my gosh, how wonderful. So, I feel like I have to tell, my stories from when I was a high school student. But Mr. Freeman taught my physics class for IB physics. I think we only had standard level, at least at that time. But Mr. Freeman, you think I wouldn't know that it's you? But yeah, it was one of the hardest classes that I feel like I've ever taken. It was just two classes that I feel were the hardest that I've ever taken, which is Mr. Freeman's physics class and my math class as well. So my math class was with Mr. Peters. So that was, but what's funny is that I think my greatest memories from high school were from those two classes. So I feel like, I feel like I've always been a person who enjoys a challenge, even if I'm not good at it. But I'm not naturally very good at physics. So I pulled up my grade by constantly going to Mr. Freeman during, office hours, or were office hours really a thing, in high school? But anyway, Mr. Freeman said that we could go and see him. And so I pulled up my grade with really good labs. Like all of my labs were in the high 90s. And it's because Mr. Freeman very kindly reviewed them with me, taught me what needed to be corrected and why, and stuff like that. So I worked so hard that he bestowed upon me the physics lab award. I went overkill and got a physics lab award, which, yeah, Mr. Freeman, that's still one of my favorite memories from high school. So it was a good time. So for anyone who's dropping in and wondering why I am saying this, is because at Philip Freeman here in the chat is legitimately my high school physics teacher. And it is wild to see you in the chat. Mr. Freeman. Thank you. Oh, man. But Hello, Einstein. Hello, 1010, Sir Chestnut. How are you all doing? Y'all are doing great. But yes, I did get the physics lab award. So let's see. Yeah, so I'm just looking through the chat to make sure I didn't like miss any questions or anything like that. But today we are going to be looking at some books that the Flute Center sent me in late 2025. So for anyone who's dropping in, I know that I've gotten actually quite a few new subscribers since I last posted. So hello and welcome if you are watching, whether you're watching live or if you're watching after the fact. But the Flute Center sent me these books, I'm not joking, in October. And the plan, and I'm just gonna be real with you. Like, let me just be real with you. I don't want to hide. The plan was to do like a fun sight reading kind of like review-ish of these books so that you guys could do some holiday shopping if you liked what I sight read. But I got so sick. So I went down. So this in October, when I got this, I thought I was only going to be sick for maybe like a week or 2 weeks. No, guys. I would say that I was like sick for like 2 weeks. And then it lingered for 6 weeks after that. So I didn't actually get over my cough until early December. And by that point, I was so tired from just feeling like I was crawling through teaching lessons and stuff like that. You know, I'm like constantly coughing and constantly muting myself, that I really just had to take a break. Like I had to. So I didn't do much in December and I really just, got my strength back. And then January and February have been pretty hard months for me. I can't talk about it yet because it has not been concluded yet. But I have some health issues that I am dealing with that is not to do with the cough, is completely different from the cough. But just so you guys know, I am fine. It is not cancer. It is nothing malignant, nothing like that. But I am getting a little bit older. And so you get health issues. That's just kind of what happens, all right, when you get a little older. We've been seeing lots of doctors, a lot of referrals, a lot of having to deal with insurance. It's for anyone who goes through this type of thing. And I know that unfortunately, a lot of you guys watching my videos and my streams, a lot of you guys actually do go through this. Like I have talked with actually a lot of you guys like at the conventions and stuff like that. And, a lot of us in here have chronic conditions. So this is not a chronic condition. This is a completely different thing, but I have had to go and see several doctors, get several opinions, and we're still in the midst of that. So I am still waiting on some consultations and stuff like that, all the way out until April. But, in the thick of it, right when you're sort of kicked into doing all of this stuff, this first month, 2 months-ish of doing this, it definitely caused me some pretty deep depression. I would say it was actually depression. It was depression to the point that when I finally got out of it, maybe I want to say a week or 2 weeks ago, like I started coming out of it 2 weeks ago, and then I've had to essentially get my life back in order over the last 2 weeks. Like when I started to come out of it, John actually said, "Oh, I got my wife back." That's how bad it was. Okay? Like it was bad. And I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. but I'm physically right at this moment doing okay. Okay. So I'm not dying. It is not cancer. It is not malignant. So I just want to put that out there that I'm fine, but I have to see a butt ton of doctors. So yeah, I just wanted to like really put it out there. It's not cancer. It is not malignant. I will be fine. Okay. But yeah. So anyway, you don't think that's unusual, Susie. Thank you so much for validating my experience. So it took me a while to kind of come out of that depression. So that is why I didn't stream for a lot of this month. And I could tell that I really needed to just kind of take a break, because the last time I streamed, I think you guys could tell I was not okay. And I also was very clear about it that I was not okay. But it's okay, guys. Got a therapist, all right? I've been chatting away with Hubs, our families. I have a really great community of friends and colleagues, and everyone has been nothing but supportive and understanding. I got a good support network. It's okay. I am fine. I would say in this kind of situation, it is, given the situation, this is the best scenario for this situation. You know, like, I'm not dying. We can wait on, this thing that's happening to me. We can wait on it and get all the opinions that we want before we figure out what to do. I've got really great family and friends who are just supportive. It's the best that it can be. Okay. So, it is what it is. So thank you, Mr. Freeman. Susie, that's exactly it. Susie, you hit that nail right on the head. You said that I'm learning a whole new situation with whole new terminology and everything. Don't ask how you know. Well, I think I know how you know. So, yeah, anyone who's been through this knows what I'm talking about. And I have to admit that until I went through it myself, even though I have gone through this whole situation with John's skin, I've only ever been the person supporting. I've never actually been the person actually going through it. So this is an entirely new experience for me. I'm just kind of like, whoa. I didn't realize how far into depression you could go from essentially being just bashed over the head with a new reality, So, so see, Michael too. Michael, I'm so sorry that you're also going through. See, I know it. I know a whole bunch of you are going through the exact same type of thing, at least. So y'all get it. So the best can always be improved by a good cup of coffee. You're absolutely correct. I have been making myself so many French press lattes at home. Like, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to spoil myself with the most tasty coffees that I can make at home. So there you go. Hello, Nicholas. How are you doing? Just giving people an update on what's happening with me before we jump into sight reading. Oh, Michael, thank you. You're so sweet. Yeah, very close, and you've also been battling stuff yourself. Yep, I know. Like, everyone is dealing with something. This is something that John always says, and he always reminds me too. Like, everyone is dealing with something. And, when you go through life like that, you just have so much more empathy and patience and understanding around you. It makes you a much more loving person, which I feel in turn is reflected right back at you, that like you end up feeling so many people's love too. That's kind of the biggest thing I've really learned from this situation is, you know what? I've really found my people. In all parts of my life, I have found my people. And I am so dang happy, weirdly. So, yeah. Oh, Henry, you're also. I'm sorry. Hi, Noelle. How are you? Oh, excuse me, Nicholas? Cam Voyage has an official European dealer? That's amazing. Congratulations. That must have been like huge and like crazy in the making. In Romania, that's wonderful. So anyone who's watching this from across the pond, go and order your Cam Voyage cloth and polishing cloths. I have a third one in my trunk. I actually also have another of this. Nicholas actually sent me a second one a while back now, but I have that on standby for whenever when I finally abuse this one too much. But this is still holding up so well. But yeah, so. Yeah, so you know. Okay, guys, we're going to do a thing where I've been practicing this, which is now that we have addressed what we're all going through right now, right? Everyone's going through something, okay? We have addressed it. We see it. We validate it. We validate our feelings about it. But now we're all going to just kind of put our heads down and we're just going to be like, okay, that is happening, but we are here now. And what are we going to do right now is we're going to escape and have fun, okay? So I think what we're going to do first is open this up. I actually straight up have not opened this. And I have actually no idea what I'm looking at. So I have a vague idea of what it could be. Now, I put in the title that these are things that, like sheet music that Flute Center sent me in late 2025. So there might be a chance that there's some Christmas stuff in there. I'm just going to put it out there, okay? But you guys have the whole context now, okay? I was really sick. So we're here now. If we're doing Christmas songs, we're just going to do Christmas in February, and that is completely fine, all right? This is our little corner of the internet where we could do whatever we want. All right. Hey, Mason, how are you? All right, let's do this. Okay, this is actually a little bit awkward. I think I'm going to do this so you guys can, so I can kind of like get closer to the camera without it looking like crazy big. But okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, this is a much bigger package than I expected it to be. Okay. You know what? Look. Okay. That is so freaking cute. What is this? I've never seen this before. What is this? Have you guys seen this before? Wait, that's so cute. What the heck? Oh, so this is Flute's family reunion. Isn't that so cute? Oh, okay. So Story and Music by Erica Syke Andres, or Syke? Sky. Sorry. I need more coffee. Illustrations by Dylan Habib. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is so cute. Oh, it's a musical book. So access the recordings as well as the digital version of this book, and they give you a QR code. Okay. Are we gonna? Okay, I think. Now I want to. Oh my God! Look. There's so many flutes. Which one will you play? Oh, that's so cute. Can you guys name them all? All right. I'm going to name them. Okay. Bass flute, piccolo, curved head joint alto, straight head joint alto, C flute with a B foot joint. This is contra. The subcontra is the one that like goes around on the floor too, right? So this is contrabass. This is the dizi. So this is the Chinese flute. Okay. And then let me make this a little brighter. There we go. And then we have fife, pan flute. I guess this is is this the classical era flute, I think? Well, ocarinas. I think this is the Baroque flute. I'm not sure, or is it Irish flute? And then, do you guys know what this one is? Can you guys see that? What is that one? Oh, these are penny whistles, not fifes. Got it, thank you. Shakuhachi. Maybe. If Greg was in here, I think he'd know. Yeah? Oh my God, these are so cute. Okay, I'm gonna read let's read the first 3 pages, yeah? Flutie was so excited. Today was the big day. It was time for the big flute family reunion, and everyone had come from near and far away. Okay, I love that they have a cat. That's actually such a flute thing. In honor of this momentous occasion, there was something super secret prepared. Her mom, dad, grandpa, and little brother had learned a special song, and among her whole extended family, it would be shared. So cute. She had been practicing her part of the music for many a day and night, and just to be safe, she decided to run through it one more time so that during the performance, she would get it just right. Okay, if you guys want to hear more, you guys are just going to have to buy this book, okay? That's so cute! Oh my gosh! If any of my friends bring their kids over, I now have a storybook to share with them. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, I love it. Okay, so we're going to put that off to the side and take a look at the other books in here. Okay, so we have Peter's Piccolo World. I also have never heard of this. Also, I love these little mice. Do you guys notice that these are flutes or piccolos? They're piccolos. That's so cute. So this is book 2. What about book 1? Piccolo inspiration book for intermediate to advanced players. Oh, that's probably why they gave me book 2. All right, I guess for someone like me. Okay, so written by Peter. Oh gosh, I'm gonna butcher these names, so I'm just gonna show you guys here. This is so cute. Ooh. Okay, so this book was written as part of a series, and we recommend that you explore book 1 before studying book 2. Both book 1 and 2 are for conservatory students, professionals, and for amateurs who want to develop their inner piccolo player. How to use this book. This book contains both teaching points and exercises for you to experiment with. Let the illustrations inspire you. Try to listen to as many piccolo players as possible, both live and recorded. Use a mirror to understand your posture, hand, and embouchure positions. I cannot agree more. My God. There is actually so much that you end up naturally picking up just because you listen to people play what it is you are practicing. I think that some, like, I have heard, or at least I have heard kind of this sentiment among some of my students that like some of them feel like they're cheating when they're like just listening to like other people play the music that they're playing, or like in this case playing piccolo, because there's almost this sentiment that if you're not learning it yourself, then you haven't truly learned it. You're just mimicking someone else. But actually, legitimately, a lot of really good learning in music is actually by mimicry. So like, and that's actually how music was passed down before we had written notation. Everything was oral tradition. So any of you guys who are studying music history and stuff like that, you're probably like, oh my gosh, Joanna said the thing that I am studying in music history. Oral tradition is huge. Yeah, like I believe, at least, you know, having taught quite a few students now, and for quite a few years, my experience of students who pick things up faster and do well are people who immerse themselves in the music and the instrument that they are playing in. So, you know, like if you play the flute as a hobby, that's totally fine. You just have to realize that if you don't listen to flute music on the regular, you're probably not picking up a whole bunch of things that you would otherwise. So just thought I would, you know, mention that. Peter how do you say his name? Is it Verhoeven? Piccolo royalty. And I love that he wrote such an approachable book. It seems very, very approachable. So let's see, what does this cover? Breathing, posture, continued, which means that there is a bit on posture in book 1, probably. Breathing, articulation, where to find the most beautiful sound. I guess that's the sweet spot. Getting the notes, holding the notes, singing the notes, changing the notes, finger technique. Yeah, that looks like that's what this is. Looks like it's a little less than 50 pages. Yeah, very approachable. I love that it has, you know, the, whatchamacallit, diagram. That's great. Wonderful, wonderful. So, Rooster's favorite melodies. Wait, that's so cute. Breathing. Oh, I love this. This is great. Okay, what are the QR codes for? I believe they say here, look out for QR codes placed throughout the book. They'll link you to further teaching on certain topics, explaining these concepts in a video format. Oh my God, that's fantastic. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Oh, interesting. Problem 1, flute air support is too heavy. It can also create too much tension in the abdominal muscles. This results in cracking, splitting notes, and a thin, aggressive sound. Yeah, that is absolutely true. What I always tell my students is that the piccolo is tiny. So whatever you do on the flute, you do that, but at like a fraction of like the size, you know, of whatever it is on the piccolo. And that includes support. Ooh. All right, I'm gonna, let you guys, buy this book so you can do a whole bunch of fun things on your own. But I think what I want to do is try out some of these tunes, kind of with that idea that like your flute air support is too big. So we're going to make that more tiny. All right. Okay. I'm kind of reading this to kind of see what I need to do while playing through these. Okay. So basically get rid of unnecessary tension or pressure. Okay. All right. I love that they use like real music to do this. This is really fantastic. This would have been useful because I did actually perform this when I was in school. All right. Articulation. Look, they have their own mouth diagram. I love it. This is great. Oh, I love it. This is really fantastic. I love it. So they're talking about different tongue placements and also different vowels that you use. So the vowels that you use in your mouth kind of cause the like the cavity inside of your mouth to like the shape to change, and that can really affect how the instrument responds to you. All right. So I think here it says, be careful to keep the upper lip down and stable while the tongue tip is up. Okay, yeah. It seems like they're implying that you can so use different different syllables to just create different effect. If you go too far forward, it just sounds like you're spitting into the piccolo. Then the kind of the longer ones are da da da. Da moves the tip of your tongue further back into the mouth, and that causes more of a thudding sound that you end up getting. So it's a little heavier, which makes sense for portato and marcato. Portato is when you, as you can see, slurred with tongue, like slurred and with staccato. So if you have a slur and staccato at the same time, it's called portato. And it's this kind of do, 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 do. So it's kind of like a more bouncy, but more like lengthy staccato. Is how I would, it's kind of an in-between. You're not, you're not playing each note for its full duration. Otherwise it sounds da, 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 and it has that kind of tenuto sound, which you don't want. So yeah, I like that. That's great. This is great. So they're getting you to analyze where your tongue needs to be for different excerpts. That's really cool. These are the zones that they're talking about. And then the shape is like what, the cavity inside, the different vowels, I think, inside of your mouth. I like that. I like that. I like how that causes you to be more like cognizant of what you're doing rather than just kind of like vibe playing, you know? Great. Double tonguing. Yep. Yeah. Agree. So it says, with piccolo playing, aim to have the K or G as close to the T or D as possible. Yeah, you don't want it all the way in the back. I keep saying this. And if you have it all the way in the back, you can't go fast enough. Also, it has a kind of swallowed, very thumpy sound, and it's delayed. So you end up swallowing basically every other note, because if you're double tonguing all the way through like that. So yeah, like that. I like that they mentioned that, and they drew it out for you guys too. That's fantastic. Wonderful. Okay. I think that in particular is very interesting to me. Oh, sound shapes. I love it. Is this tone color? I think it might be tone color. That is really cool. Okay. I think to me, so what's newish to me is more so the idea that, you know, that the flute support is too much, too heavy, too much, too slow for the piccolo. So I want to give this a try. Just gonna put that there. Okay, so we're not taking out the flute, we're taking out my piccolo. And just so that this kind of matches you guys, a very easy thing I can do is just make me bigger here. Oop, 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 there. Like, oh God. There. Is that good enough for you guys? Is that, it is just the piccolo, so. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this view. I can keep it like this. Okay, so I'll just basically have this slightly bigger frame here so you guys can still see me. But okay, we are just going to very quickly grease this up a little. Yeah, I love how explicitly they, you know, he tells you here that like flute support is actually just too big, too much for the piccolo. Okay. All right. This doesn't go too high, so I'm not going to put in my earplugs so that I can actually hear myself a little better. But here we go. Let me know if this is too loud for you guys. All right. So just to review what he's saying here. So we want to focus on lightness and fun. So nothing too heavy and big. Mindfulness in the inhale. Okay. So the zones in my body that I'm wanting to focus on is top of the rib cage, bottom and sides of rib cage, abdominal area, and my back. Yeah. Okay. I've had this asked like as a question by one of my students before, who was like, should I focus on support only in the front or all around? And what was really interesting was she sent me a video of her doing just focusing on like pushing from the front of her abs. And then right after, she did the same thing, but did kind of like all around, including the back. And it was noticeably better. So granted, that was on the flute. So we essentially have to kind of think of it more on like a smaller, lighter scale for the piccolo. But this one is mentioning two more zones, which is the top of the rib cage and the bottom and sides of the rib cage. So yeah, I think mostly I have been focusing on front and back. So I think thinking about the top and then bottom and sides of the rib cage, that'll be a little bit new for me. Let's see. Okay, so flute air support looks like creates too much tension in the abdominal muscles for the piccolo, I think. Okay. So I am noticing that the way that concepts are being taught in this book, and I think they mentioned it in the like introduction as well, but the concepts are being taught in a very what's the word, like it's full of imagery. So this will work really well for people who need a lot of imagery. I think other people who focus more on like the exact how-tos part of it, you guys will appreciate the like actual diagrams about your body. So I like that they are giving both approaches. They're giving both this like the actual what is happening, and also, you know, if your mind works better with images, they also give you an image as well. Like, I like that there's both. I think that's really, really creative, really cool. So the second problem here, so you guys can see it. So the second problem, the flute air support works too slowly. So the first one is too heavy, and then the second one works too slowly. Okay. So the speed of air can get too slow for efficient piccolo playing. This results in an airy, imprecise sound, as well as the high notes not coming out. Yeah, very common. So you can train your breathing muscles to react more quickly with exercises where you have to practice quick speed ups of the airstream. So imagine you're trying to scare an unwelcome cat out of your garden with a loud yeah, it's very explosive. Okay. In order to adapt your flute air support system to piccolo playing, can help to imagine the position of your diaphragm in 3 basic positions. So, roof of a house for low ridge. So this is the imagery part that I think will work really well for people who learn through imagery. I think what I'm really seeing here is more that you can kind of, like, for people who want the more how-tos, what this looks more like is low register is like a very, your diaphragm is very low and flat. Yeah, flat, and then the higher you go, the more you kind of arch your diaphragm. I think that's what they're going for here. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. So they're also mentioning if you go soft, you don't need to take a huge breath. In my experience, the reason why you don't want to take a huge breath is because you end up suppressing the air. And so you're suppressing a whole bunch of air but you're actually only using a little bit of it. So it makes, like it causes you to actually push the air from like your chest, which is not as well supported, ironically. So, let's see. So in pickle paying, we're only relaxing the diaphragm, exhaling air at a more controlled rate. Adding unnecessary pressure when releasing the air produces cracking notes, tension in the sound, and an unstable high register. Okay. So no, I think the biggest thing here that I'm getting from this is light, as little, like you don't actually need the same amount of pressure on that we do on the flute. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna warm up a little bit more and then we'll try this out. I completely forgot to change back to my talking microphone to do all that. But hello, David. How are you doing? Yeah, this is the Trevor James Grenadilla. I wanted to do it on this one because this would be a more realistic representation of what you guys would be like practicing this. So let's do this. How fast are we going? If we're going at 80. Okay. All right. I am absolutely noticing that I really feel like I don't have to put as much support if like I envision my diaphragm kind of sitting up at a higher arch. Like I pretend that there's like a little thing sitting in my chest and it's kind of going like the higher I go, the more it's going like this. And then the lower I go, the more it's going like this. And if you do that, you don't actually have to support as much. That's interesting. And they do mention to continue transposing here. So we're just going half a step up every single time. Okay. I am really noticing that like if I think flatter down here for those low notes, like you really you don't need a lot of support. In fact, I still feel like my support is too much. So I'm going to try, I think, the first iteration of this again and not overdo it even more, like even lighter, essentially. So I don't know if you guys heard the delay. So this was problem 2. So problem 2 is that flute air support works too slowly. So did you guys hear that delay of like when I wanted to start the note versus when it came out? And then he did mention here to pretend like you're scaring a cat away. So you need that kind of like really fast response. So it's light and fast is what I would say that like the air support feels on the piccolo. Okay, that was a great little lesson. We're gonna do that again. Okay, so the problem that I'm feeling here is like I'm getting the faster response now, especially in those lower notes, but I think when I'm transitioning into the middle register, I feel like I'm either overshooting or I'm undershooting that feeling. So I'm going to go at it again and see if I can pinpoint it. Yeah, it really doesn't take that much air. I feel like there's a bit of resistance that I'm trying to get rid of. Maybe too much tension in my abdominal muscles. I'm going to try and relax that. I think I figured it out. I don't know if you guys heard the subtle difference there, but transitioning into the middle register for a hot second there was way better and way more open. And I think what it was I'm so used to my support sitting much lower on the flute than on the piccolo. Everything needs to sit a little bit higher, little higher, tinier, lighter. Yeah, you heard it? Okay, I'm not crazy then. Yeah. I wish I had this book when I was in university. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Wow. Yeah, this is making a huge difference. Very good. Okay. especially since that was such a success, I'm just looking at the time and realizing I should probably keep going. So we are going to keep going. Let me just very quickly find my piccolo flag. Sorry about that, guys. But let me clean this up. This is a great book. That's fantastic. This is kind of reminding me of when I was reviewing the Magical Flutist. Where did I put it? I put it somewhere. Oh, put it in the back there. By Katri Renstrom. And like I learned something new that time too. I always think it's just so fun to like mess around with people's like method books and stuff, because everyone has like a different approach to how they teach things, and it's just so fun to get everyone's nerdy perspective, you know? I love it. That was really interesting. I think honestly that's going to make my life so much easier, you know, playing piccolo stuff, because I've always felt like it's just like a crazy amount of pressure. And what I'm realizing is that it's exactly these problems that are mentioned in here. So thank you, Peter. Just want to make sure that I didn't say the wrong name. You know, when you're on camera, you have to kind of think twice about what you're saying. But that was amazing. Wow. Okay. Oh no, I don't have an alto flute. Okay, this one is the Advanced Alto Flute Method by Christine Potter. I think maybe what we can do is, I'll take a look at this right now, but what I think I'll do is the next time I review an alto flute, because I don't want to do this on my guo. I want to do it, like my guo is a bass flute. I want to do this on a legit alto flute, just so that you guys can really like, again, kind of like me doing the piccolo book on the piccolo, then you guys can actually hear me like actually learn something and improve something. And like I want it to be representative of how you guys would be working out of this book too. But let's just take a quick look to see what's going on. This is really exciting. I've actually had a few students order this book, I think. Alto flute? Maybe a couple students. Most people go, like, they usually look for Christine Potter for this stuff. So, all right, let's see what this looks like. So, includes extended techniques, incorporating alternate fingerings into pieces, strategies for learning difficult passages, expanding your dynamic range, improving intonation, and tone development. Basically the full gamut, which sounds great. Also, let me say hi to people. Hey, hi Mel, how are you? Mel's Joy. How are you? Did I miss anyone? Sir Chestnut, did I say hi to you? Hello, hello. Cranky, hello. And Brianna, hello. Wait. Brianna. You have the same, no, yours is actually Sykes. I am crazy and I need coffee. Brianna, how are you doing? How is life? We're all just nerding out right now. Okay, let's see what this is doing. Everything that we said that we wanted to learn here. So, I'm going to shift this over here. Immediately, I'm noticing extended techniques includes flute beatboxing and tongue rams. This is actually a very commonly asked for technique now. Like if you guys play new music now, you will see this so much. So it's going, Brianna. Oh, tell me about it. Later on, you can rewind to the beginning of this stream and you can see what I've been going through. We've all been going through something. Okay. Orchestral excerpts too. Yes, very nice. But yeah, this immediately like stuck out to me. I would love to try that out on an alto flute. Cause you must get so much more like that kind of like almost it's that resonant sound that you get from plucking a string bass. You tend to get more of that resonance on a bigger flute. So like an alto flute, bass flute type thing. It's really hard to get that specific resonance on a C flute. C flute, like you obviously you can do these, you know, extended techniques as well. But the resonance that you get from the like thump, 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 like from the tongue ram or from like your fingers slapping the keys, or when you're going like that type of like, you know, very percussive articulation, the resonance that you get from the flute is just, it doesn't have that same depth and warmth that you can get out of an alto flute or a bass flute. So like, I am absolutely going to try these techniques when I get to review my next alto flute. Yeah. And the key clacks being louder helps too. Yeah, because I think the reason why the key claps are louder on like an alto flute, bass flute is because literally the tone holes are huge. They are absolutely massively gigantic. And the more gigantic they are, the more of this kind of clonk, clonk, clonk sound that you can actually get. So, oh, I'm so excited. You got your long tones. I love it. People always ask me, how do I develop tone on my auxiliary flutes? I'm like, honey, same thing as how you do it on the C flute. But I think what's really nice here is that these tips here do seem to be like very geared towards like you on an alto flute, because an alto flute actually has slightly different kind of like properties than a C flute. And I actually just had a lesson this week with a student who is like introducing themselves into alto flute playing, and they're realizing that it is a very different beast from the C flute. I think this is fantastic that like those differences between an alto flute and a C flute. So essentially it's like different notes kind of like end up with different kind of resistances and also different colors. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast. What it reminded me of, you know, during that lesson was my interview with the composer and alto flutist for the video game Haunty. That video has not been viewed very much. However, if you guys go and watch that one, they do talk about the fact that the alto flute has a very specific timbre to it that a C flute doesn't have. And sometimes composers will actually want to use even what can often be perceived as like maybe not as preferred tone, but maybe they want that gritty sound that you can get on an alto flute that you can't get on a C flute. So it just kind of like looking at what's being talked about here, like minimizing air noise, developing a solid core of the sound and stuff like that. This is very alto flute centric, because these are like this specific issue that she's talking about here pretty much only shows up in the alto flute. Like a lot of times people have a really like easy time in the middle register on the flute, because the flute was sort of built to sound good in the middle register, you know, whereas the alto flute, not so much. So you can see these exercises are really getting you to like get comfortable with the middle register. You guys can see that a little bit more clearly. Using a lot of harmonics, which makes me very happy. I love my harmonics. Yeah, intonation. I love it. There's a note here about adjusting a curved head alto. That would be me, what I would want to look at. I think the next time I get to review an alto flute, I'll probably do like a separate kind of like session on just an alto flute. That sounds super fun. Yeah. So I like just kind of like at a quick glance, that this does seem really freaking fantastic for like looking at, like this is like very, very alto flute centric, which is perfect. I mean, that's what it says it is, right? This is great. So extended techniques, flutter tonguing, key clicks. That's what we were talking about, key clicks. Multiphonics, yes. Multiphonics sound so good on the alto flute. They sound so good. I was playing a piece for Dr. Bob. I don't know how many of you guys remember him from my very, very old videos. We still email. He was my theory professor. And he wrote an alto flute piece that I got to like record for him. And I believe that one had multiphonics in it. I'm pretty sure it had multiphonics in it. And it was, oh, so good. References Robert Dick's The Other Flute, which I believe I have. And I really should go over. I should do one of these kinds of like, just like learning streams with that book. But let's see, singing while playing, flute beatboxing, love it. Mentions Greg Patillo, fantastic. How wild is it to become famous for beatboxing on the flute and then make it into someone's method book? How wild is that? Because Greg Patillo's flute beatboxing videos are like kind of like the first viral flute videos, I would say. Like we're talking like this is YouTube history. Like flute beatboxing made it into not just flute history, but YouTube history. Like this is like content creator history. And I love seeing it here in the method book. That is crazy. Yeah. So you have a copy of Greg Patillo's 3 Beats for Solo Beatbox Flute. Ooh. Oh, it was the NFA 2011 High School Competition Commission piece. Man, good on him. Yeah, you see what I mean? 2011. YouTube came out in like 2006. Like Greg Patillo's viral flute video, like flute beatboxing video, is like in the YouTube deep history. So, you know, some of you guys weren't even born. So, oh, wonderful. Tongue rams, jet whistle. Oh, I love doing jet whistle. Jet whistle is so fun. And it sounds really creepy on an alto flute. Like it sounds more shrill on a C flute, but like it's like creepy on an alto flute. It's fantastic. I think it's because it has more of that kind of woo, has that sort of timbre underneath it. Oh, it's just it's so good. But yeah, I'm not good at tongue rams, so I am very interested to see if I can do this. Pitch bending, that's my jam. Pitch bending is my jam. That's what I'm good at. Speaking into and over the alto, very typical for new music. I know it sounds really weird, but the alto almost acts as like a weird amplifier, I want to say. So it's pretty cool. Aeolian sound. What does that mean? Aeolian just means air sound, sometimes called residual sound. Oh, sottovoce. Yes. So it's when you go very diffuse, unfocused sound. Yes, I've done this before. So you're basically blowing into it so unfocused that it doesn't actually make a chord tone. Very atmospheric on an alto flute. Okay, great. So, and then etudes. Oh, wow, this is great stuff. Allegretto. I love it. This is great. Looks like some of these are adapted. Yeah, edited by Christine Potter. So it looks like a bunch of these are adapted from just regular flute etudes, which is great. Orchestral excerpts. Oh, yes. All in one place. These are the big ones. Rite of Spring, The Planets, Daphnis and Chloe. Oh yeah, look, all the references, love it. I love that it is well referenced. Fantastic. Good. Okay, so I know that I just talked through this, but I really don't want to do this on the flutes that I have in my collection right here, because I don't think that that would be a fair experience of this book. I think I really have to be on an actual alto flute to experience this properly. So we will save this, all right? For the next time I review an alto flute, we will look at this. We will do a whole extra stream where I get to try out things in here. All right? Coolio. So we did that. We have the Paula Robinson Flute Warm-Ups book. I feel like I've heard of this before. Also, this is super cute. I love it. For Marcel Moïse. Oh, how sweet. I love it. Okay, so we got here. I love it. We flute players are gymnasts and singers and dancers too. It's just as important for us to warm up carefully with our long tone scales and arpeggios before we throw ourselves into the Carmen Fantasy or Density 21.5 by Varese. I'm sorry, my French is horrible. And just as a dancer at the Barre is happy to start each class with the pliés he has known all his life, so we flutists need a consistent warm-up, which always serves us well. Wonderful. Lovely. When it comes to physical exercise, if you don't warm up, you can legitimately hurt yourself. So it is actually a really good idea to think of it in that way, that you can actually hurt yourself if you don't warm up. So that legitimately, that is actually why I do harmonics and stuff like that. For me, harmonics is kind of like a turbo warm-up, but let's see what Paula Robinson does. So physical warm-ups, let's see. Morning stretch, I love it. Head and neck flex. I feel like this is almost like physical therapy. Breathing exercise, orange juice warm-up, what is that? Exercise is like fresh orange juice in the morning. So let's see, take a deep breath. Okay, I've never heard of this, so I want to try this one. Take a deep breath, relax your arms and shoulders. Okay, starting with the most beautiful low C you can muster, play these chromatic scales and enjoy them. Keep the support steady, fingers close to the keys. Each note must sing on its own and still be connected to all the other notes in a long, full phrase. Okay. So relax arms and shoulders. Okay. All right, let's do this. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I see you. So chromatic scales. Looks like they are 2-octave chromatic scales. Okay, all right. I hope you guys like this kind of over-the-shoulder perspective. But it does make it so that I have to kind of keep moving it so you guys can see. But okay, here we go. these. So I'm going to relax my shoulders, arms. And we're going at 120. 1,000, 2, 1,000. Okay, these are pretty fast. Okay, so I am noticing that my fingers are flying. So she did mention keep the fingers close to the keys. What I'm assuming is nice and relaxed because the arms and the shoulders are also relaxed. Okay, we keep going. This feels really good. We're gonna keep going. Realized that chromatic scales could feel so like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like comfortable. Like it feels like I'm sinking into a velvet couch. Like that, like I don't know why I've never experienced that before. But maybe because I'm actually like putting myself into that mindset, I think. Aeronemic. I don't really know. Is it aeronemic? Aeronemic. Hello. How are you doing? I hope you're doing wonderful today. Regardless, I hope you are enjoying being a nerd with us. All right. Aaron. Air one. Hello from Vancouver. I love Vancouver. Oh, I miss Vancouver. Haven't been back in a while because of, we're not going to talk about it. But I think you guys know why. I'm in Seattle. Okay, we're gonna continue. Second page now, we're on G. And we're just sinking into, this is a warm up. So we're just kind of sinking in, right in. I would say that considering that you are going at 120, and this is like supposed to be like, she's calling it an orange juice warm up. As you guys can see, orange juice warm up. Especially considering that it's going this fast and I am feeling comfortable, I would recommend this for professionals, straight up, or very advanced amateurs. If you are not like finger familiar with chromatic scales or pretty much all the scales, I think you would not reap what this warm-up is trying to sow. If you already have the, like, all of the muscle memory to do this, and you've already done a lot of exercises that has forced you to develop all this muscle memory, then you can turn off your brain essentially in terms of like what notes you're fingering, right? But if you're still working out the fingerings, I would say that you should probably wait until you have, you know, achieved that level of muscle memory before using this as your warm-up. So this to me is a very like professional warm-up, which is actually something that I personally have not been really introduced to much. So this is very interesting for me. Okay, we keep going. So shoulders, arms relaxed. We're enjoying this. On. Work on that. Air one, thank you for watching my old stuff. I really appreciate it. I hope it's helpful. And welcome to Flute Nerddom. Congratulations on starting the flute 3 months ago. That is fantastic. I'm going to take this opportunity to do sort of a light, soft launch, like almost like a pre-soft launch of my upcoming membership tiers. So if you guys go to merch.JustAnotherFlutist.com, you guys will actually see that there is a membership section now. So if you look up at the top, there's like a membership section. I've been working really hard on this while being super depressed over the last 2 months because I figured, okay, if I'm depressed and I can't show up on camera, at least I'm going to do something. So this is what I've actually been doing. And on there's going to be 2 tiers. The lower tier is going to be $5 a month, and they're just going to be fun stuff. So like practice sessions, like my own, basically like my personal private session, personal practice sessions. There we go. You know, like kind of like unboxing reactions and you know, stuff that like, I would like to do on camera, but I find are more kind of extra behind the scenes things. That stuff is going to be there, as well as like there's going to, I'm wanting to do this kind of like masterclass, like, you know, asynchronous masterclass idea. So you guys can read about it there. And then the second tier is $10 a month, and that's going to be the flute nerd one. So if you've wanted lessons from me, but like you can't afford it, or you can't, your schedule just does not permit, this is a really, in my opinion, this is going to be a really, really good alternative for you. So I'm putting stuff on there that I've actually been wanting to like write, publish, etc. So I'm wanting to do like kind of like cleaned up flute review diagrams, and practice guides. So I actually started doing this for a student who was taking lessons from me asynchronously, and I realized, oh my God, this is really fantastic. So so there's going to be practice guides on there. If I feel like I want to do like, you know, a random tutorial or something like that, it will also be there. And you know, stuff like that. Like the tutorials that I do here on YouTube tend to be very beginner friendly. But if you want to go more nerdy, essentially, so if you're looking for more intermediate, advanced, professional level like tutorials, I'm gonna do them over there. So yeah, there's nothing there though. That's why I'm saying, for now, that is, because I'm still setting everything up. So if you join right now, there's nothing for you to consume right now. That's why I'm saying this is kind of like a pre-soft launch. I am planning on starting to post in March, sometime in March. Okay, so I realize that today is the last day of February, right? It is, right? No, second to last day of February? Today's second to last day of February. This is the last Friday of February. You know, I would say you guys might want to wait until March to sign up, but I just want you guys to know that it's there. Okay, so yeah, one more day. Yeah, there is one more day. So I would wait, you guys, until like March, because I am planning to start posting in March. I actually wanted to start posting in there in February. That was the original plan back in like December, January, but then life happened, so everything kind of got pushed out a month. Yes, tell me the good news. But yeah, just wanted to let you know, especially because I know that a lot of you guys who like to join in on these types of streams tend to be people who would want that kind of thing. So yeah, I wanted to tell you guys kind of in the middle of the stream. So you guys who are nerdy enough to make it to this point, get this kind of pre-soft launch. Okay, I'll do like an actual hard launch later in March, but you guys get the beginning bits of it now. So have fun, okay? Okay, we're going to keep going in this B flat major. I'm not the most even, I'm aware. I really have been wanting to get back into practicing, which is actually one of the main things that I'm going to be doing on my membership tiers. I want to put all of my personal practice sessions on there because that also will keep me accountable. And one of the things I want to do is just kind of like really get back into my technique, because especially over the last couple of months, life has been crazy. So that has taken a back seat. So I kind of want to drive that again in March. Oh gosh. See, that's the type of thing that I want to redo, is like my like third, fourth register. Yeah, I can feel that I need that dexterity back. No. Ha! Okay, we'll call it there. With that, I definitely can tell where I need to like do a little bit of homework. It's like right up into the fourth register. I could already feel some of my dexterity starting to come back. for the third registers, particularly around high G, A flat. I think there's also a little bit of like high A flat, like PTSD. So that like tension is kind of like eking in. And I definitely could feel it more because I was concentrating on like being relaxed and enjoying this. But let's see. We have now Belle's warm up. Start with beautiful singing B. Try to stretch its goodness to B flat. This is probably the type of thing that you guys have seen a lot of. Trevor Y also refers to this because I believe Trevor Y also, I think, was a student of Moïse. And his tone book is like a direct inspiration from Marcel Moïse's De la Sonorité, which it sounds like this might be it too. Also goes all the way down to low B. That is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah. All the way down to low B. Very, very cool. So singer's warm up. Ooh. All singers seem to like the same scale study. Is this what I think it is? Yes. Yes. I recognize this. Anyone who's been to music school and has heard the singers warming up, you guys have probably heard this, which I'll play a little bit for you guys. But wait. What am I supposed to concentrate on? Pretend you are a singer and hear each note before you play it. Listen for good intonation, reach for the high notes. Okay, so essentially it's a little bit of calibration. You have to calibrate your ear to the key that you're in. If you've calibrated your ear to that key, you'll know where you want each note to sit. So if you've never done this type of thing before, what you can actually do is before each like exercise here or something, you just play the scale 3 times and that'll calibrate your ear so you lock right in. I can tell this is written more for like a professional. And so as a professional, you can kind of lock in to every new key that you hear. You'll lock right in and be like, okay, I know exactly where that, like I know where the tonal center is, which is the root note, the first note of the scale. So this is a skill that you will gain over time just with experience. Some people, like most people actually just kind of gain this this skill without even knowing it. It's just that you play music enough and then you just kind of learn to sort of lock in to like different keys as they come up. So I will, just for you guys, I will calibrate my ear to C major and then I will do what she suggests here. So. So what I'm doing is like, I'm like, okay, I can tell this first note, the lowest note, the highest note, those are my tonal centers and the note obviously right in the middle. So we are listening for that note and then just kind of like relating every other note to that one. All right, here we go. Haven't you guys heard singers do this? Just gonna see. Okay. I was seeing if I needed to like slur this or whatever. But I want to do a couple of more. Okay, the reason why I kept making mistakes is because I kept trying to like hear what the next note was going to be, and then I would get distracted. So I think what I'm going to do is look at this and figure out, like basically low-key memorize this and then do it without looking, because I think I'm getting distracted by reading. So slipping. Okay, so what I was really noticing was that my G sharps were too flat. So again, I would say that the reason why I would say that this one is also warm up for professionals is because you do have to understand how just intonation works. So just intonation is not the same as equal temperament. The piano uses equal temperament. You guys can look this up on Wikipedia. Wikipedia actually has a great article about this. So just intonation, just as in J-U-S-T, intonation, just intonation, 2 words, and equal temperament. In layman's terms, you have your tonal center, which is the root note of the scale, right? And every other note in the scale needs to be a certain distance away from this root note in order to sound in tune, okay, to the human ear. It's like sound waves and stuff like that. Mr. Freeman, if he's still here, my high school physics teacher, would probably give a much better explanation of this. But in any case, pitch-wise, each note of the scale needs to be a certain distance away from the root note in order to sound in tune to our ears. Now, the way a piano works is that it has just, the reason why it's called equal temperament is because every note, every half step is the exact same distance away from each other as every other half step. So they're equal. Every note is equally spaced. But if you take just intonation where the distance of the other notes of a scale have to be a certain distance away from the root, if you change keys, you can kind of see how that would be a problem, right? So like, if you compare it against equal temperament, it's not really going to, you're going to sound like or like when you look at a tuner, you're going to be like, oh, but like my ear wanted it to be here, but now my tuner says I'm sharp, or my tuner says I'm flat, etc. So a very easy fix for this is if you're going to do this with a tuner, for every new key that you are playing in, you have to set your tuner to just intonation. And the way that you can tell that it's just intonation is if it asks you for a key. So if your tuner asks you for a key, it means that it is tuning you to that note as your root note. So you would set your tuner to C major for up here. You would set your tuner for C sharp. So that's if you really wanted to see exactly where you should sit, but really your ear can just sort of do it for you if you calibrate your ear correctly. So with that long, wordy explanation, this is why I am saying this warm-up is for professionals or for very advanced amateurs that are basically playing at a professional level. Because you have to have that knowledge first before this warm-up even makes any sense. Because like that's why I could put down my flute just now and tell you guys, yeah, I was playing my G sharps flat. Is it because I could actually hear it going flat? No, it's because just straight up no, okay? It's because I've calibrated my ear to C sharp major, and I can feel that that note is just laying too low for where my ear actually wants to put it. So this is a great, essentially, intonation exercise. I for some reason, had never really thought of intonation as something that could be a warm-up, but this is basically an intonation warm-up. Yeah. There you go. David provided a great example, which is in just intonation, an E relative to a C is not the same frequency as an E relative to a B or an A. Exactly, right? Because in your example, the E is the major third above C. And that one, if you compare it to a piano, like equal temperament, that E has to be really flat in order to sound in tune with the C. If the E is relative to the B, it is a perfect fourth away. And you see how much music theory goes into this? Like, this is why I'm saying that this concept is really for someone who is playing at a very, very high level. So E, I believe a perfect fourth, you have to be a little bit sharp. I think it's a little tiny bit sharp. And then the E relative to the A is a perfect fifth away from the A. And that one absolutely needs to be a little bit sharp. In order to sound in tune with A. It has to kind of sit a little bit higher. So that is what I'm hearing here when I'm playing the G sharp, and I'm like, ooh, that's sounding a little kind of like low. Like it almost sounds a little, like tone-wise, it even sounds a little bit flat because compared to the, you know, where my ear wants to expect it to sit, it's sitting lower than where I want it to be because it just doesn't sound as kind of like open. That, you know, the perfect fifth of any key should have this very open sound to it. Yeah. So yeah, Varicosine, you are absolutely not the only one to be confused. That's totally fine to be confused. So that's why I'm giving you guys these keywords for you guys to look up. Wikipedia, again, I have to say Wikipedia actually has a pretty good explanation of it. So if you look up just intonation equal temperament Wikipedia, if you look that up, you're going to get a pretty good explanation of it. You're very welcome, Varicosine. So, you know, this is the type of thing that I actually do want to dive deeper into on my membership tiers. So, yeah, but like, this is very interesting to me. Like, I really didn't consider that intonation itself can be a warm-up. And this is switching you to every single key, which I think is, it's almost like a mind-ear warm-up too, which I think is great. I think it's fantastic. I wish I had more time. I'm looking at the time and I'm like, it's almost dinner time. We might have to do like a part 2, guys. Different articulation every day. Spice things up. I like it. Let's see. Dancers warm up. Looks like we're doing a little octave leaps. Dia, 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 dia. Oh, I love it. Go up and you hold. Oh, this is wonderful. Yeah, these are definitely high-level warm-ups. These require like a lot of muscle memory work previously already done. This involves a lot of kind of understanding how intonation even works, how keys work. There's a lot that I think that you need to already know before getting into this. So this is just so that you guys know. I think you know, like it's nice, I think, for for people to know that, like, yeah, it says, you know, flute warm-ups book, and it looks very just kind of like innocuous, like just kind of like very innocent looking. But then you start to play it and you're like, what the heck? I feel like I'm just tired doing the warm-up, right? Like if you haven't like gone really deep into like working out or like how different exercises work in the gym and stuff like that, I have been in this spot where you're just doing the warm-ups and you're already winded from doing the warm-ups, and like just doing the warm-ups themselves, it like already is making you like huff and puff, and also you realize you can't even do some of the moves in the warm-up. I have been in that position before. That's what I think would happen here if you're like a beginner or even an intermediate player. This is like these are advanced warm-ups. Two virtuoso warm-ups for advanced players. This whole book is for advanced players. Ooh, Pan's warm-up. I love it. Wow. Oh, wow. I want to do more of these, like probably in like my practice sessions on my membership tiers. Like this is the kind of thing that I would really want to do. Psychological warm-ups for taking a lesson, giving a lesson, auditions, concerts. I love it. That's really nice. Spiritual warm-ups. Gift of music. Oh, I love it. Oh, look at this flute tree. Oh, I think these are like big quotes from big, there's even a psalm in here. Oh, okay. That's lovely. This is lovely. Yeah, but I would say this is definitely for advanced players. I'm very excited to do more of a deep dive in this. I can already feel it making my own playing so much better. And this is me just like dipping my toe in this. Yeah. Maybe not those last two. Those are the ones that I really want to try. But I would like to kind of do this entire book, I think. All right. I think I'm going to call it there. I think I want to keep going. So I will do another stream probably next week. But I might kind of, because I have some flutes from the Flute Center. So I might do a review and then look into this again. Like we'll do a part 2. And I'm really glad that these were not Christmas music. There was a part of me that was like, oh no, am I going to be playing Christmas in February? I'm really glad. Yes. So I do need to go and like have dinner. So I think I will call it there. But we have this coming up. I think what we can do maybe in that stream is look at another book. I feel like it's by Mark Sparks as well. So I'm going to go see, because they sent me another book too. Oh, yeah, it was the same book. They sent me the same book twice. Oh, that means I could probably give this away. So, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Maybe I might just give it to one of you guys in person at like NFA. Okay, so I am, yeah, you know, like I might just like bring it with me to NFA. I hope I remember to do that. No promises, okay? But that would be really fantastic. Okay, we're gonna be back here so I can talk to you guys like this. But yeah, so we have 2 books essentially, method books as well for the next time we like kind of do deep dives into this. So, or not really deep dives. They're not deep dives. These are sort of like dipping my toe into it, you know, just kind of giving you guys a taste to see, you know, if like, you know, basically to help you guys shop. Like this is to help you guys figure out like what these books are good for. That's the type of thing that I have wanted personally. Like I've wanted to like essentially know what these books are about before I get into them. But I'm just the one doing it now, which I'm fine with that. That's really fun. So we will do that, but I think I will intersperse it with a flute review. So we'll do a flute review you know, next week. If I'm feeling really good, which I'm feeling a lot better now, I might even do a second live stream in the same week. I don't know, maybe. So you guys have that to look forward to for next week. Okay, I'm gonna clean up using Cam Voyage. Whoops. Cam Voyage. And I think, you know what? No. I was going to mess with my camera placement, but we ain't going to do that. We ain't going to do that while we're live. Too many things can go wrong if you do that. Thanks, guys. Yeah, guys, it's every time I stream, it's just a good time with you guys. It's fantastic. Hi, Brenda. Hello, hello. So yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. Which means that streaming is like finally on the table again. Also, I want to thank you guys. I didn't make an announcement or anything about this, but thank you guys for 50,000 subscribers. You know what? That's big for me. It's taken me a long time to get to 50,000, but it has been wonderful. So I am also planning, I guess this is kind of more soft launch for you guys. I'm realizing that it's very repetitive to just kind of make shorter cuts of these live streams. And I've been wanting to make a new kind of like a new style of video where it works better in sort of like video format. And it's kind of going back to my roots of vlogging. So I wanted to like basically vlog my work life at home as a flutist that does what I do. And within those vlogs, I can talk about, you know, what I'm practicing or what I'm teaching, and, you know, like, just like, I can also reference my reviews and stuff like that. Yeah, like, I've done a lot of soul searching, and I was like, you know what? I really miss vlogging. So I do recognize I still haven't released my NFA 2025 video. And part of it is because I want to like figure out what I even want to do with my videos before, you know, before coming out with that. Because that one is vlog format. And I think that's where I really like, it really occurred to me. I was like, I really want to go back to vlogging. But I'm a very strange flutist in that I don't really gig. This is my gig. So, you know, so I stream and I teach, and, you know, I practice on stream, and, you know, like my life is very strange for a flutist. And so like, that's why I haven't vlogged for a long time, but I'm like, you know what? Like I tried it for one day before NFA, which I haven't released that video either, because again, I was trying to think like, what's the framework we're working with here? Like, I enjoy the act of vlogging, but the vlogs need to have like it needs to have some sort of framework to them. So that's what I've been working on basically since NFA, is figuring out like how do I want to frame my vlogs, you know, just to kind of make sure that my vlogs have like a theme, and that will help guide me on what to film, what to talk about. And I've been watching a lot of other YouTubers, like kind of like essentially their work from home vlogs as well, just to kind of get an idea of like, what do I focus on? If I were the viewer, what would I want to see from essentially like a work from home flutist? So, Vericosin, sounds like you would be interested in that. So I hope you guys would be, you know, interested in that type of format, because I feel like that type of format would allow me to actually just like, you know, talk, because I miss my talking videos, but I find that I don't really want to sit down and make like basically an essay every week. That's what I was doing for a long time, was basically doing a video essay every week. And my life is not conducive to that anymore. However, there are things that happen when I'm teaching, and there are things that I'm happening when I'm practicing. I have epiphanies throughout the day. I have shower thoughts. And like, I won't take you guys into the shower with me, okay? But I do want to talk about my shower thoughts. I want to talk about my going on a walk thoughts. You know, things that I feel that would be like helpful to you guys. That can help you guys on your journey as well. And I'm just like, you know, a lot of these have been scattered for a very long time, and I just haven't filmed myself doing it, because I always kind of thought of myself as like, oh, I'm like a talking head, you know, content creator, which is ironically what I'm doing right now. But like, I kind of pigeonholed myself as sort of like a talking head content creator, even though my origins are in vlogging. So yeah, exactly. So I was thinking that like I can write them down, and then like, you know, when I'm preparing to practice, I can like vlog a little bit, and then put the actual practice sessions on my membership, you know, posts, and yeah, it's kind of like that's what I've been constructing since NFA. I've been constructing this this framework that I can work in, that I can feel authentically myself, and, you know, film all the things that I want to film, talk about things that I want to talk about without filming extraneous material. Because I was finding myself like being like, now when I vlog, what do I film? What do I not film? What do I include? What do I not include? And that's the kind of thing that I had to kind of figure out. So micro practicing, I don't remember. Did we talk about that? So Brianna, you'd be interested in watching the vlogs? Okay. Okay. So I think it'll work then. If you guys wanted to get an idea of like where I've received my what's the word? Inspiration from. I really need more coffee. Wow. Inga Lamb's What I Eat in a Day vlogs, because she has a whole bunch of them, and they're all just so relaxing. But she focuses on food. That is the theme. So hers is, so it's wonderful because it creates this framework where she's like, I vlog the cooking and the eating. But like while she's eating or while she's cooking, sometimes she will talk about what's on her mind. Sometimes she'll talk about what she's excited about. Sometimes she'll talk about like what's happening in her life and stuff like that. So you get a theme, but you also get authentic her. And then there's also, I forget his last name, but Eric, I think. But he has a whole, his entire channel is just this like homebodies vlogs. And he's a homebody, but his theme is architecture and interior design. So like again, that gives you the framework of like what he films, but he will still have sit down portions where he talks about his life, his thoughts, and more personal things as well. So I was like, I think that's it. I want a flute centric one. I want one where like I'm vlogging, practicing, I'm vlogging, like not vlogging the actual teaching, but like I get to talk about teaching, kind of like what I do here, like scattered in my live streams too, but like in a vlog format, I think would be really nice. Yeah. So y'all are telling me to have coffee and dinner. I think maybe dinner in bed and maybe save the coffee for tomorrow. But yeah, so micro practicing. Oh, you brought up in March 2025. You brought it up in March 2025, my dear. When you get to my age, you don't remember what you said a year ago. But yes, my thought is if it's micro practicing, it must have been like practicing in short spurts. Is that right? And you were asking if you could steal that, right? Did I actually put that in the title? I can search that up though. All right, guys, I've yapped enough. I need to go. I love you all so very much. Thank you for hanging out with me today. This was super fun. I'm really excited to just kind of get back into my life, even though life is crazy. But I feel like I've at least gotten through the worst mental part of it. And yeah, so I'm feeling a lot better mentally. And so yeah, I'm glad to be back. Thank you for just being patient. And I think what I really appreciate about you guys is that y'all don't demand that I come back. Thank you for that. I think that I am very spoiled as a content creator, that you guys get it. I think when I go MIA, like, yeah, it was good for me to take some time to myself. So I asked you that. Oh. Let me see if I can find it. But I do need to go soon, man. So let me see. It's in March of, let's see. Is it a live stream? It's a live stream, right? Let me see. Looks like I did a few reviews in that time. Live stream. Was it in the What's on My Bookshelf? Let me see. Or is it one of those things where I just talked about it randomly in the middle of a live stream? Because I tend to do that. I make the stupidest faces and I kind of love it. Okay. Well, Varikosin, I do need to go, so I cannot keep hanging on. What you can do, though, is when you find it, post it with the timestamp to our Discord and tag me. You can post it to the hashtag Talk to Joe thread. All right, that's you'll get my attention there if you can find it. Does that sound okay? Cool, cool, excellent. So, love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe to the best of your ability. And the reason why I say that is because I've also just been through a bit of hell. Sometimes you can't help it, and that's fine. Do what you can. Take care of yourself, okay? Because there's no music without the musician. I will see you guys next week, and I will be back next week because mentally I am all back. All right. Love you guys.